Hi guys, so I am going to do a full length video of my morning mobility routine that I do. Okay, you might have seen that I'm getting up at like 4:30 in the morning to start this. You can do it any time of the day. Guarantee it's going to help you prevent injury, just release some tension in the muscles. It's great to get the day going. It's also going to be pretty good straight after exercise as well. Obviously with the lockdown going on right now, maybe your routines can fit in maybe an hour, half an hour or something like that of dedicated time for mobility. So if you bear with me, if you want to take a screenshot of that, I'm going to go through each sort of move in real time as I would do it. Obviously, if anything is painful or is something that you don't want to do, then you can just modify it or change it or don't do it. A little bit of discomfort, and when you're stretching, you do find there's tight areas. You can maybe just stay in those areas a little bit longer than I do, or alternatively come out of them and not go as deep, things like that. So I'll try and just do it normally, like how I do it. And everyone's got different ways and different bodies and different shapes and sizes, so just do what you can. I hope you find this useful. If you do, let me know. Okay, so usually just starting off in a standing position. Okay, feet are just hip width. I've got my hands in a prayer position. Okay, we're reaching up to the sky. Slight little back bend and looking up to the sky, and then we fold forward. Nice straight legs. Tiny little soft bend in the knees, and we're just folding down. So just fold to wherever you can. If that's here and the arms are dangling, if that's up here, that's fine. Okay, just wherever you can go with straight legs. If you want to take a little bit more of a bend, that's fine. If you can, go full straight legs, and maybe you can take your hands to the floor. Okay, from there we just slide back up into a flat back position. We're holding it here with a nice flat back. Head and neck's in line. Okay, we're not got head down. We're not looking up. We're nice and neutral in the spine. Back's nice and flat, I hope. Okay, you can check that by just feeling your sort of middle of your back, your lower back. Okay, make sure your chest's in line. Imagine we've got a broom on our head from our back all the way down to our sort of top of our bum. And then from there, nicely riff out as we fold all the way down. We can hug onto the back of the legs and just take the head gently in towards the knees, a little bit deeper than before. And then try to straighten out the legs. Using those arms just to fold a little bit deeper. And then from there we take a nice big scoop all the way up. Reaching up to the sky. This time we put the hands together. And we're just bending backwards a little bit more, looking up to the sky. Might feel nicer to open the arms. It's brilliant to do when the sun's rising. Take the hands back down, and then we're starting to go into this little squat. Okay, if you can go there, that's fine. If you can take it deeper, okay, this might be a bit of a struggle in the ankle mobility. Okay, so just go to where you can. You might want to take the feet a little bit wider, and we're just sitting down as low as you can with a nice flat back. Okay, so back's nice and flat. I'll go to the side so you can see. So we're not hunched over. Okay, if you're up here with a flat back, fine. If you're up here, fine. Wherever you can go and maintain that position. Maybe you can go right down. Still got a nice flat back. Sometimes it's nice to put a little wedge under your heels as well, so you could have a little book there, and it's easier if the heels are elevated a little bit. Spin back round. And then we're slowly easing it all the way back up to the starting position. Okay, so that's one round of the first sequence. Okay, so we're going to do that once more. I'm just going to focus on the breath as well this time. Okay, so it's really important. Okay, so a nice deep breath in as we reach up. Okay, we can have hands wide or hands in, and a nice exhale all the way down. Taking the hands down to the mat again. Take note of the legs, you've got them pretty straight. If you do need that bend, have the bend. You can also put your feet together. Start maybe walking on fingertips back. Nice forward fold. Now as you breathe in, slide up to a flat back. And as we breathe out, all the way down. Heading towards the knees. You're using those arms, so we're also almost doing like a bicep curl as we pull the head in. You're using the strength of the arms to pull down. If you're up here, fine. Wherever you need to be. Should feel a stretch nicely on the back of the hamstrings into the back of the knees, also down the calves. Nice inhale as you breathe up. We come all the way up. Again, hands together or apart. Nice big stretch, a little back bend. And bring it back down, hands to the chest. As you're sinking it down to this little squat. Okay, a little modification here. If you want to take it to the next level, we're going to reach the arms up. And again, keeping the back nice and long. So hips tucked under. Okay, we're not tilting the hips back, we're tucking them under. Got a nice flat back. And we can also look up in between the hands. Taking it a little bit lower if you can. I'm just holding it there. Spin back round. Head and neck in line or looking up. And then standing all the way up. And bring the hands back down. Okay, so that's sequence 1 done twice. We're going to move on to the next one. Okay, a little bit easier this next one. Okay, so you're going to go down onto your mats. Okay, so gently down to all fours. Okay, so we've got our hands and wrists underneath our shoulders, knees underneath our hips. Okay, so you don't want to be out here and you don't want to be too close. Okay, so a nice grounded position. Also, we've got hands pretty much at shoulder width and knees just about hip width as well. So as we take a nice deep breath in, we're going to drop the belly and lift the head as we tilt the spine and look up to the sky. And then as we breathe out, we're going to push back up towards the sky, tuck the chin in, squeeze the belly in, and nice big breath in. Got the belly, lift the head, and breathing out once more, pushing the spine up. Tucking the chin into the chest, really strong through the arms, pushing into the ground, and breathing back. Okay, from there we're going to push back onto the heels. Okay, so some people do struggle with this position. You start getting cramps or you can't sort of keep the feet pointing backwards when all this sort of pressure's on. So if you need to, just ease into it. So first of all, maybe before you do the cat and cows, what we've just done, you can maybe just have a little play around, just slowly easing into this. A lot of people will get a cramp sensation in these feet here, and I promise if you practice this daily, that will go as the mobility increases in the front of your ankles and your legs. Okay, so maybe just spend a bit of time just rocking back gently, and this might take a number of weeks, a number of sessions, okay, to get to the point where you're comfortably sat on your feet like this and there's no gaps under here. Okay, it will take some time if you're not used to that. Okay, so widen those knees a little bit if you're okay with that. Then we're going to sit back onto the feet. Okay, and then we're taking probably everyone's favourite pose in yoga, especially when you're doing a hard class. So we're reaching right out on the mat, forehead's down, so we can't put our forehead down because of this hat, so I'll spin it around. Okay, so forehead down on the mat, reaching out, dropping the chest towards the floor. Also pushing back into the hips, so the hips are going back over towards the feet. And then really just try and relax into the chest and shoulders. A lot of the weight's down in the forehead. Sometimes nice to just flick your hands over and allow the shoulder blades to open. Whatever suits you. Some people like wrapping the feet around this way and let the shoulders relax. Letting the traps release. A few moments here and then you start picking yourself up. Okay, so a little bit deeper this time on the cat-cows. And you take a nice deep breath in. Drop the belly, lift the head. The hat's getting in the way now at the back of my neck. And as you breathe back out, lift the belly up, push the spine towards the sky, tuck the chin in towards the chest, and you're just mobilising the spine. So you could just start speeding it up a little bit. Really good first thing in the morning. Get things moving. Do one more. Deep breath in, belly expands. And breathing out. And back to neutral. And then one more time, we're going to push back onto the heels. Allow the arms to reach out. Dropping the chest towards the floor. Taking the head down as you can. Nice deep breath here still. Each time you breathe in, when you breathe out, try and release and reach further forward with the hands. So as I breathe out, I'm reaching my hands further forward. Feeling a stretch down in the lats as well, all the way down from sort of fingertip, all the way down to the hips. And on the next inhale, start bringing it back up. Okay, so we're going to reach up. Okay, so next move, we're on sequence 3 now. Okay, similar position to start off. Okay, so we're in this all fours position. Notice I've got my feet underneath, my toes have tucked underneath my feet. So I'm on my tiptoes. From here, start pushing down into the hands, tense the core, squeeze the belly in, and then just hover the knees if you can. If you struggle with this, you can maybe just do one side at a time and build up the strength. Okay. Obviously, the longer you leave it here, the harder it's going to be. Really try and work up to being able to hold this position for, a decent length of time, maybe a minute or so. It really helps with a lot of core stability. So just holding it here for a few moments. Nice deep breath in. And out. So when we're holding these exercises or poses or stretches, it's really important that you don't hold your breath. Okay. And also don't want to be sort of starving ourselves of oxygen and then having to catch up. Okay, so remember to breathe even though you're holding the exercise. Okay, from there we're going to step the feet back into a full plank position. Okay, so really try and ground the legs, okay, lock out to the back of the kneecaps, pushing into the floor. Okay, so he's in a press up position, very supported here, so it could take if my little lad tried to jump on my back now, I could probably hold it there. Okay, so I'm not sagging down, okay, just relying on the sort of strength of my shoulders holding up. I'm using my core to hold up here, but we're mindful we're not doing a down dog or somewhere in between. Okay, just propping ourselves up. We're in this plank position, so looking for a straight line from shoulder, hips down to your feet. If you can, I hope I look like that. And really try and scoop the hips forward. So look at my hips there. I'm scooping them forward, squeezing my belly, sort of tensing my abs, if I will, pushing down into the floor. Also blocking out the legs, pushing the back of the knees up to the sky, and holding it at a nice full plank. So I'm really strong in this position. Okay, with a little bit of upper body strength, I could take it down into a press up and push back up, and I'm not sagging. Okay, so try and do that. If you're struggling here, maybe you want to take it just to the knees and build up the strength there. Try and build up that endurance over time. Okay, from there we're going to go into our first sort of down dog as we start pushing the hips back up to the sky. Try and roll the shoulder blades out, so I like to bring the elbows through and push them forward first before I start pushing the hips back. You can also go with bent knees for now as we try and get these arms nice and straight. Moving the chest back towards the knees, and eventually over time straighten the legs and really try and push back into the heels, so it's not all about shoving the heels to the floor, but they are working towards the floor. The toes could lift in time. Okay, if you struggle with this, do bend the knees and try and get this back nice and flat first, pushing nice and strong into the arms before you worry about the legs. Okay, it looks very static, but it is static, but there's a lot going on. Still working quite hard here. And then we're going to bring it forward. Drop the knees, and we'll just push back for a quick little breathe out pose of child. Child's pose. And back up to all fours. Okay, so we're going to do that sequence once more. Exactly the same. Okay, we're going to tuck the toes, hover the knees. Remember to breathe. Push nice and strong into the hands. Try and keep that head and neck in line as well, so I'm not looking forward. Okay, so try and position the device, the phone or the iPad or whatever you're watching this somewhere where you can see it, that you're not having to look at a weird angle. Okay, so you might want to move it around as you do each sort of move, or maybe just listen to the audio as well. Hopefully I am describing it enough. You don't need to watch it all the way through. Okay, from there we take both feet back into a full plank. Nice deep breaths again. Squeezing them abdominal muscles, tilting them pelvis, scooping it forward. Okay, and from there easing up into a downward dog. So pushing the heels back, lifting the hips, moving the chest back towards the knees. Again, if you don't feel like your arms are in the right position, you can maybe rock forward. And again, I like to scoop the arms so the inner elbows are pointing towards the front of the mat, and then gently push back to this, so it separates the shoulder blades, really strengthens into the shoulders, pushing down equally into the hands. And again, remember to breathe. Then if you're struggling here with the strength in the arms, you can maybe take a bent knee and just push the hips back over the legs a bit more, and work on getting these arms up to strength and having that endurance there. Or maybe it's a mobility issue as well. Sometimes can help bending these knees and getting the strength and flexibility into the shoulder joint first before we try and work for the full downward dog. And I haven't mastered this in any sense yet. I'm still learning, practicing. Okay, as we bring the knees down, push back, widen the knees a little bit more. And we're going to reach the arms back towards the feet this time and let the shoulders relax down the sides. Nice deep breath. Okay, and we'll bring the hands back. Come back up. Okay, so that's sequence 3 done. Sequence 4 is very, very similar, but we're on the elbows this time, okay? So it might feel a little bit more restrictive in the shoulders, okay? So just bear with me. If you want to go back to the first one we just did, you can do that one again until you've got the sort of flexibility there. Okay, so it's down on the elbows. So first of all, we're going to set up in all fours. Leaving the hips exactly where they are, I'm just going to gently walk the hands out to the top of the mat. From there, I'm just going to take the chest down towards the floor and reaching the hands, letting them reach out as far as I can and taking the head down. So it's a little bit more of an intensive stretch on the lats and in the underside of these arms. Okay, just getting the chest down if you can, but maybe in time you can get the chin towards the mat and just relax if you can in this position. So it's a little bit of a back bend. We've also got the shoulders opening up. Also can be quite painful on the knees as well, especially if you're on a hard surface like I'm on these flags. If you need to put some more cushioning under the knees for all these kneeling postures, then feel free to use blankets or more padding or double the mat over or something like that. You don't want it too soft though. You don't really want to be doing it on soft carpet on a mat. Generally you just find it's too unstable really, but you know, it might work for some people. Okay, from there we're going to come up as we bring the hips forward towards the floor and then dropping the elbows. We're rolling the shoulders back, so that's the important move. Okay, so try not to keep these hunched up. We're really trying to roll these shoulders back, and then we're gently just lifting the head and chest, but not at the expense of shoving into the shoulders. So we're really trying to roll them back first and then start peeling up from the mat. So cobra, and we're just looking up towards the sky. You might want to move your hands a little bit further forward. Gentle little back bend. You're also trying to scoop your torso through your hands. So if you watch my feet, they slightly move forward. And again, remember to breathe. And then gently just start pushing back. We're just going to move the hands back a little bit. Okay, so this is very similar to the downward dog, but we've got our elbows down. Okay, so we're tucking the toes under. Gently start picking the legs up. Now that might be enough there, okay? It takes quite a bit of mobility in the shoulders okay, and also strength in the shoulders to hold the weight up. So we're going into this downward dog position. Just find a length that suits you, where you can start pushing back in from the arms and moving the chest back towards the knees. Okay, so that might be a little bit longer if you need it. Gently over time, trying to walk the feet a little bit closer while still moving the hips back. So just take a little bit of strength in the arms and the upper body to hold these positions. And tensing the quads as well, the front of the thighs, to almost stretch the hamstrings even deeper. So as you squeeze into the fronts of the legs, you should feel the backs relaxing, if you can call it relaxing. And then gently take the knees down, feet together, widen the knees a touch, push back into the heels, and just a few moments catching your breath. Okay, we're going to bring it up and do it once more. So try and go a little bit deeper on each one. You might want to repeat these sequences 3, 4, 5 times, maybe if you find some sticking points. Okay, and if you don't like them, by all means skip to the next one. Okay, so forearms down on the mat again. We're going to drop, we're going to reach out with the hands, drop the chest. If you can, the chin's going to be on the mat. If the forehead's on the mat, that's fine. And we're just using the weight of the upper body to try and stretch out the back of the shoulders. Again, find a place that's comfortable. And again, remember to breathe. Okay, then we're going to come through. Bring the hips down towards the mat. Roll them shoulders back and start peeling the upper body a little bit higher off the floor. Again, you can move the hands a little bit further forward. And we're looking up to the sky. I'm just going to shuffle back on this mat. Hopefully you can still see. Maybe move the feet together. Notice my feet and my legs are quite relaxed as well. Scooping the torso through my arms. Gentle little back bend. Looking up to the sky. And start releasing. As you tuck the toes, you can maybe go all the way up into that position and transition there without going back to all fours. Again, pushing the heels towards the mat, chest moving towards the knees. Nice and strong in the arms. Try and keep these hands parallel and not interlaced if you can. Okay. Again, if you need to take this down a level, maybe you can just work into this position. Just try and open the focus up this way before we take the weight of the lower body into it as well. And one more breath. And as you release the knees down, widen the knees, narrow the feet, and we'll just have one more. Relaxing child's pose. Again, you can move the hands out, maybe widen them, play around with what works for you. No right or wrong. Okay, start coming up. Okay, so in the next sequence, there's a little bit more lunging going on. Okay, so people do struggle with balance with these lunging moves, so sometimes it is useful if you're indoors, if you do have a table or a sofa or something at the side of you. If not, it's really important that you try and focus on sort of a fixed point. And if you're watching this video from something, maybe you just want to place the iPad or laptop or whatever in an aligned place with where you're going to be facing, and you can maybe focus on one point on that as well as watching the video rather than trying to focus and watch, okay? So we'll go right leg first, we're going to step it forward. I'm just going to get you used to this lunging position before we go into it, how I would normally go into it. So nice and simple, we've got right leg forward, left leg back. Okay, and the important thing is that the hips are in line. Okay, so you see a lot of people with lunges where they put the leg forward and these hips have twisted. So if I had a sort of pin through my hips, or I put a bar on them, the bar is facing that way there. So I really want to try and square these hips up. Same with the shoulders, so they're in line with the shoulders. If there's a pin through there, or I've got a bar, it's in line. Okay, everything's in line. You can check this really easy with your arms. So if you put them up, you'll see my hands are facing to the front of the mat. If I set up with twisted hips and my shoulders have twisted as well, and I put my arms up, they're facing sort of 45 degrees off. So I really want to square them up. And you can do that by just playing around with the length of your legs and also scooping back in the front leg's hamstring. Okay, so underneath I'm scooping back and I'm also pushing that hip forward. So just check first that we've got everything in line before we start trying to go anywhere else. Okay, so when you've mastered that, and again just check the other side, so step forward, I've got the hip square, hands, do the hand check, everything's facing forward that way, we're not out here. Okay, so we're facing forward, hips are in line. Okay, once we've mastered that, then we can go into it how I would normally go into it, which is from sort of a downward dog position. It really helps me get that sort of length in the lunge. Okay, so tuck the toes, lift the hips up, pushing the heels back towards the mat. Again, I can scoop them elbows forward, allow the shoulder blades to open as I push up into a nice downward dog. Now from there, I shuffle the feet slightly together. Okay, so just narrower than hip width. And then I'll take the right leg up in the air, a little bend in that knee, and twist and open that knee so it's nice. That's the highest point, okay, the knee of the right leg. So just opening into the hips. Try not to twist the arms. Try and keep the arms exactly where they are. And then gently bring the knee through. Okay, so I'm hovering the foot, I'm scooping it in and bringing it all the way forward. Okay, and you put your foot in between your hands. And then you gently drop the back knee. And if you've done that right, you should set your length up. Okay, so some people will struggle with that foot coming through, it's going to hit here. Okay, so maybe you just need to lift that hand and place it there. Drop the back knee, and we're going to bring the hands onto the knee. Take the feet, top of the feet down at the back. Again, just check the hips briefly. And then we're going to take the hands up to the sky, reaching nice and tall. Again, focus on a point at a distance that's a fixed place that you can concentrate with your balance. Reaching up nice and high. I'm going to take it to the next level. You can start adding a little back bend in there. Okay, so this is opening up the hip flexors, okay, into the front of this leg. Okay, we're also using the hamstrings actively here to scoop back and fight against that. So I'm using the hamstrings underneath to scoop this hip forward, which is dragging this hip forward and stretching into the front of this hip flexor. Now to deepen that stretch, we could maybe take the hands down towards the knee and just push slightly further forward, but don't allow these hips to open. Okay, so we're pushing forward, forward, forward. Keep that scoop going on, and then lift the same arm that we've got the leg stretched back on, and add a little back bend there. Now another really good progression here, and it will take a bit of time if you're not used to these moves, okay, is lifting the back leg. Okay, so I'll just do a brief demo while we're here. You can put this hand down, so left hand goes down, left knee bends, and then take the opposite hand round to that foot, just about get hold of it. Okay, now that might be enough right there. I can feel it already tightening up in here. Over time, and maybe you do need the sofa next to you now or the chair, just for a bit of balance. Okay, over time, we can start taking this front arm up, okay, and reaching up into the sky. As we use the back arm, we're pulling the heel into the bum. That's going to stretch the quads down this leg that's back. And we're also really stretching into the hip flexors now, nice and deep, as we push the hips forward. Adding that little back bend if you can, and looking up to the sky. And then it's important here, if you're in this move, just to gently release the back leg. So you don't want the foot splatting towards the floor. So release slowly, and then take the hand down. Let's just see what we've got next. Okay, so another really important one. Now obviously we've stretched the hip flexors on this side, we've been scooping this a hamstring. It's a really good time now to stretch it off. Okay, so from here, when we're in this lunge, we're just going to gently place the hands down and rock the hips back. Now this might feel tight already in the back of this leg. Okay, so eventually this is working towards a full split, which I am nowhere near getting yet. So, and I might never get there, but we can still work to stretch and elongate the muscles in here and just allow them to release. Okay, so we're really trying to just push back with square hips. Okay, so you might just take some time, and you might want to do this in a rocking stage as well. So just gently going a little bit further each time. And just really try and relax this hamstring in this leg until you can take that leg straight, maybe lift the toes, and just allow the muscles just to sort of relax. Now it will feel a little bit horrible at first, especially if you're not used to this and you're doing a lot of running and lifting and things like that. So maybe just really just take your time rocking first until you're comfortable. Don't force it. If it really hurts, don't do it. Okay, so just back it off. And over time you're trying to flatten the sort of, we'll keep the back flat but lower the chest and fold down. And again, just feeling the stretch on the back of that leg. You can maybe reach out and grab the foot. It's going to stretch the calf as well. Okay, and then when you've had enough there, we can come back. I like to put the hands back where they were, lift the back leg first, lift the hips, then lift the foot, shoot it back up to the sky, nice and high, and then slowly lower. Okay, and we'll just take an easy little child's pose there. Take the head down towards the mat. Not too long here, just a little breather. And back up we go. Okay, so tuck the toes, push back. Nice and strong into the arms. Again, we can scoot the arms forward, open the shoulder blades as we push the hips back. Heels working towards the mat. Shuffle the feet together, lift the left leg. Bend at the knee, twist and open the hips. Try and keep these arms square. And then slowly come back through. Tuck the knee into the chin. Place the foot down. Drop the back knee. Flatten the back foot, hands onto the knee. And again, just check we're square, hips are in line. Push forward with that front knee. And we're taking the arms up, hands face together if you can. Maybe they might be able to touch. Okay, make this pistol shape as you start leaning back. Stretching into the hip flexor on the right side now. Using the left hamstring to keep the hips in line. Taking the hands down onto the left knee. Gently ease forward. Again, only go as far as you can without opening the hips. Keep them hips facing forward. Push a little bit deeper, and then we're taking the right arm up. And gently tilting backwards, opening the hip flexors. And you can stay here, or if you want that little bit deeper and also hit the quads on the top of the thighs, right hand down, bend the right foot in, reach around with left, work that heel in towards your bum, find your balance first, and then again that might be enough just there. And if you can, we're going to release this top arm and stretch a little bit deeper, move the hips forward, focus on a fixed position. Again, remember to breathe. On the exhale, you might be able to find that you can go a little bit deeper, so it is important. Take a nice deep breath in. And as you breathe out, you can push the hips a bit further forward. You can reach up a bit higher with this hand. You can pull the heel a little bit closer into the bum. And I'm about to collapse. Saved it, just about. And then gently release the back leg. Take the hand down. Both hands. Hips up, push the left leg up into the sky, and gently lower. Okay, on we'll take it back down to opposing child. Pushing the hands down along the mat. Just a few seconds here. Just allow the lower back to stretch off. Maybe you can just rock side to side. And then just come up to kneeling. Okay, so you notice that sequence there, we just did one on each side. You might want to do 2 or 3 or 4 on each side. Okay, but I usually just do 1 or 2 each side. The next one we're going to go a little bit deeper now into this sort of lunge position. Again, just find your level, okay? Don't try and make it look like me, because I've not even mastered it yet, okay? So in your first session, if you've never done any of these moves, it isn't going to look anything like what I've done. If you're really experienced in these moves, you might be able to go way beyond where I am, and that's fine for you, okay? So you know where your level is. Just try and find your level, and then each session just work on improving that a little bit, just little tweaks and things. So it's really good if you're in a mirror as well, or maybe recording yourself. I'll probably watch this back and find loads of little things I can sort of tweak and improve on. So it's never perfection, okay? So just go with where you're at, and just be mindful that you've never completed it, okay? So there's always things to learn, and there's always new places you can go. So right, next one. Okay, so we're going to start off in a similar position back in the down dog. We're going to take our right leg up again, just the same as we did before. This time we're going to bring it through, step it through, but we're not going to take the back leg down unless you need to. Okay, if you need to take that back knee down just to let the pressure off, that's fine. If you can, we're going to work with a straight back leg. Okay, in this sort of lunge position, I'm on my fingertips. There's no weight in my hands hardly there. Okay, the weight is in my legs. Okay, I'm literally hardly doing anything. I'm not sagging down onto them hands. Okay, so just fingertips. Okay, we're just holding it there, pushing back into that back heel. Again, use this hamstring to make sure these hips are in line. Okay, so I'm not twisted out. I'm trying to keep them in line. Now from there, I'm just going to work this foot out to the edge of the mat as both hands come on the inside. Now that in itself might be enough. Again, you could drop the knee and we could hold it there in this sort of lizard pose. Okay, or you can straighten that back leg. Now we should be feeling a stretch on the hamstring on this front leg. If you can already feel it there, then that's fine, that's enough. If you need to take it a little bit deeper and you know where you're going, maybe you can get your elbows down to the mat. Okay, but only do that if you're comfortable with that and this feels absolutely fine. If you need to go somewhere in between, you can maybe place your hands a little bit further forward and gently just drop the chest. Okay, that's all it takes, that little bit of a movement there, and I'm feeling a stretch in these hamstrings. Some people are straight down on the elbows and, you know, the chest nearly hitting the floor. Okay, so I'm a million miles away from there yet. Wherever you find is a nice stretch for you, that's where you need to be. I'm just going to hold it for a few more seconds just to get comfortable in this position. And then from there we're going to drop the back heel down towards the mat. So our foot isn't at 90 degrees, it's about 45. And then we're going to take top arm up as we bring the upper body up. We should be able to get into this lunge position. Now my feet are a little bit off center here, so I've got this nice aligning sort of mat. I can put my foot in the center and also get this foot in the center on this one. So I know that I'm pretty much in line. So just check that as well, we're not out of square. And we want our hands reaching out for warrior one. Okay, hands at shoulder height, reaching out. Check that these hips are in line here, so still working on opening my hips. Okay, but we're getting there, I think, hopefully. A lot better than when I started, a good few years ago. Now from this position here, we're just going to take it a little bit deeper if you can. Okay, so try and keep the weight even in the front and the back leg as you bend that front knee. Okay, head and neck in line. Tailbone tucked in on the hips, so bum's not back, it's pushing forwards. Nice and steady in the arms. And then from there we're going to straighten that front leg as we bring the upper body up. Don't hyperextend and stretch it too far back. Leave a slight little bend in it. It's not here, it's not hyperextended, it's just nice. Okay, from there, imagine someone's got hold of this hand and they pull it forward. From there then, we start hinging and bending and taking the arm down towards the leg. So be careful at first that you don't just try and do this. Really try and reach forward first, then start hinging over into the triangle. Looking up to the top hand if you can. Again, you might need to focus on something for balance. Okay, maybe you can take the hand a little bit further down, but not at the expense of dropping this hip in. Okay, so really try and open this back leg, using it quite strong into the glutes, okay, and the thighs. And I'm not really taking any weight into this elbow or anything on this knee. It's just sort of floating. And then when you're ready, start coming back up. And then we take the windmill with the hands all the way down to the mat. Take the leg, scoop it back up to the ear, and gently bring it down. Through the foot. Okay, we'll have a quick child's pose, just to give you a little rest. Taking the forehead down, reaching the hands out. Nice deep breaths. And then bring it back up, hopefully you're ready for the next side. So a nice downward dog. Tuck the toes, push the hips back, move the chest towards the knees. Again, scooping them arms forward, open the shoulder blades. Nice downward dog, little hold here. Shuffle the feet together. The left foot goes up in the air. Bringing it through. Remember, placing the foot in between the hands at first. We're just finding this high lunge position. Okay, we've still got the hands down. You can take this up into a full high lunge. Okay, that'll be the next progression, and maybe a little back bend. But we're just focusing on these hips for the minute. I'm just trying to get this lunge in the right place. So again, hips in line. Only got the fingertips working there. We're not in a press up position. We can have hands down, but there's literally nothing under there. No pressure. Okay, and then from there, walking this foot out to the side. Hands come to the center. Again, you can drop that back knee if you need to. Okay, and that's pretty much enough for me there. I can maybe take the hands a little bit further forward, slowly lower the chest. I can get one elbow down. I can get the other one down if I force it, but I know that's probably doing more harm than good to go there. I'd rather, over time, build it up, going down square. You know, and a nice relaxing day when I've not done much training for a few days, I probably could get all the way down there, but this week's been pretty intense, aching absolutely everywhere. Okay, so it does depend on what you've done in the last few days or weeks building up to this. If you focus just on this every day for a week, no doubt you'd be on your elbows within no time. So it all depends on sort of what you balance out with your other elements of your training and your sort of recovery. So again, just go to your level, but what your level is on that day as well. Just remember, you might not be the same straight after a run. This might feel absolutely excruciating, so just take your time, build into it slowly. Okay, from there, back heel drops towards the mat, top arm comes over as we come up into Warrior One. Again, just check the alignment, so we're way off, usually are when we first go up into it. Okay, so I like to bring the foot just onto that line, and just check we're all in line before we reach the arms out. And again, go a little bit deeper on this front leg. Have enough space so that knee's not going over the toes. Okay, so you want to be nice and long, so the knee's working its way over the toes, but not there where it's never going to get, and I'm also stretching too much on the inside of the groin. Okay, so we're reaching out, tucking the tailbone in, so hips aren't back, we're tucked in, nice and long with the arms, and look through the front fingertip of the middle finger if you can on the front arm, but look back and just check this back arm's all right. A little bit deeper if we can. Pushing nice and strong into this back leg. Little toe side of the back leg is on the mat as well. Okay, so it's not lifting up if you can. Straighten the front leg. Drag the front arm forward first. Then start rotating into a triangle. Maybe looking up to the sky. Into the top hand if you can. Again, keep the little toe side on the back foot grounded. Don't hyperextend this front leg, this knee, you're going to do it some damage, but we don't want it bent either. Okay, so it's straight, but not hyperextended and bent back. Nice deep breaths here. You might struggle for balance here, you might be sort of shaking around and you might need to grab things, and just reset yourself, get yourself back into the position. Focus on a point, hold it for as long as you can. and then hands come back down to the mat. Lift the foot, scoot the back leg up, all the way to the sky. Gently release, and then we'll come into a seated position, just sat onto the heels. Okay, we'll just have a minute there, where you can see me. Okay, so the next one is going to go a little bit deeper. Again, you can just go back to that level we've just done, or you can go into this next level. Okay, so it's going to be a little bit deeper. Okay, then the last one, a few more little tweaks in there as well. So remember, in between these sequences, you can have a little bit longer rest if you need to. If you need to just pause the video, have a little sip of water, stay in your child's pose a little bit longer, you can do. Okay, if you want to just do another few routines of that move or that particular pose, then you can do. Okay, so just pause it as and when, and then restart. Okay, so we're almost coming up to the end of this routine now, so about 40 odd minutes. Okay, you can do it a lot quicker. You can get through all these moves in 15 minutes if you want to. Okay, nice little mobility before you go running. Okay, you don't really want to be holding these stretches too long if you're going to go out straight into a workout. It's better the other way around. Okay, it's better doing some nice quick mobility. Just get the joints lubricated, go out and do your training, and then do your stretching like this. Okay, I've learned that over the years. Similarly, it's really good to do something before you go out and absolutely smash a workout, especially if you're trying to get a PB running or something like that. I rarely get them from first thing in the morning, from straight out, straight out of bed. Doing stuff like this early doors, a nice walk, a bit of food, and then like later in the afternoon, then you bang, you go for something like a PB on a 10k run or something like that, and everything is working in absolute harmony with your body. So quite stiff in the mornings usually, so just tailor this mobility routine, or this sort of yoga sequence, however you want to call it, whatever you want to do with it, tailor it to where it fits with you in your day or your week or your sort of regime. Okay, next one. So very, very similar but a little bit deeper. So we're going to go up into downward dog again, push the hips back towards the sky, chest moving back towards the knees, nice and strong in our arms. Again, we can really try and scoop these arms forward and push back, opening the shoulder blades. Shuffle the feet together. We're going to take right leg up to the sky. We're going to add that little bend, twist and open the hips. And we're going to bring the knee through between the legs, place the foot in between the hands. Come onto those fingertips. This time we're going to add the high lunge in. Okay, so if you can, if not, you can drop the back knee and bring the arms up. Okay, so if you can, high lunge, bringing the arms up. If you're in low lunge, you've got that knee down, you've got the foot flat on the floor. High lunge, tuck the toe, straight back leg. Hips in line, okay, check, hips are in line, we're not twisting. Hips are square, arms are up, a little back bend if you can. Maybe go a little bit deeper with the front leg, straightening the back leg. And then from there we're going to take the hands on the inside now of this foot. Okay, so we're going to go a little bit deeper on this sort of lizard pose. If you want to take the foot right out to the side, you can do. And maybe you can rock that knee out. Gently just rock it out to the side. It's going to feel quite nice, or it does for me, on the inside of the thigh, opening that side up. From there, you can drop the back knee again if you need to, and start taking the elbows down. Again, you can have the back leg up or down, wherever suits you. I'm going to have it down for this one. Elbows down on the mat. Again, nice deep breaths in. And as you breathe out, you might be able to go a little bit lower with the chest. Again, not very mobile in this position whatsoever. I'm just trying to gently build this up over time. And sometimes you might just want to ease out of it, have a little breather, and then go back into it almost straight away. You might find a little improvement. And then from there we're going to ease it back up. We might have to bring this foot back to the centre, pick the back leg up. We're going to rotate the top arm as the back heel drops towards the mat. I'm a little bit more in line this time, I'll go with that for this one. We're going to reach them arms out, look down the centre of the front hand, get the back hand, both arms shoulder level. Try not to have your shoulders hunched up by your ears. Drop them shoulders down. Again, tuck the hips in, so the hips aren't back. Hips are scoot forward. Hips aren't back, scoot forward. Now, we're going to do the triangle again first, so push it straight with the front leg. Reach out with the front hand, then take the front hand down, look up to the sky. Brief one here, back up to warrior one. Reverse the front hand, and then bend the front knee as you start taking the top hand up and over. Back hand slides down the back leg. Don't push down on the knee, just slide the hand down that leg. You might have a straight front leg if you can. Try and bend that front leg, and then reaching back. And from there we're going to take the hands back into warrior one, all the way down to the floor. Pick the foot up, shoot it up to the sky, nice and high, and gently roll. Little pose of child. Catch your breath. Let's try wrapping them arms round behind the feet again. Release the shoulders. 2 deep breaths. Okay, and then bring it back up. Okay, so find your distance again, tuck the back toes. Pick the hips up, push the chest towards the knees. Heels working the way towards the floor. Bend the elbows, scoop them forward. Open the shoulder blades. And then shuffle the feet together slightly. Lifting the left leg. We're going to bend the knee, twist and open the hips. Back to centre, bring the knee through. Foot between the hands. Again, we can keep in high lunge or we can drop. Got one we're up to now. So we're doing the lizard pose, so we'll move that foot out to the side. Drop the back knee if you need to. Again, we can rock this side out. If you need to, or you want to, you can take it a little bit deeper. A little bit more mobile on this side, I think. Elbows down. Again, you can take that back leg up. You can maybe reach the arms right out. I'm not there yet. Nice deep breaths. Again, you can ease up. Maybe move the foot a little bit more to the side and maybe a little bit more to the front. And then gently try and take it back down. A little bit tighter there. And I'm just going to ease it up and have the hands a little bit further forward. And bend at the elbows. I knew I'd miss one. We've missed the high lunge, so we're going to do it next. I'm not doing too bad until then. Okay, so foot either side of the hands. Back leg is straight. Again, you can have the back knee down if you need to. Back leg is straight. High lunge if you can. Find something for balance. Check the hips are square. Okay, both hands should be pointing forward, not to the sides. Gentle little back bend if you can. Maybe your hands can touch. Again, back knee could be down, foot could be flat, and you could really start working into this lunge, pushing the hips forward, opening this hip flexor again. If you can, tuck the toes, lift the back leg. Nice straight back leg, bent front leg. Okay, and then bring it down. This is when we would have got into our lizard pose, which we've just done. Obviously, we've already done that. Now we're going to windmill up. So our warrior one. Again, check the hands, reaching out. Look down the front, big finger. Check the back hand. A little bit deeper if you can. Tilt the hips forward so they're not back. Try and keep everything in line. Use your mat for alignment. And then pushing up into a straight leg. Pull this front hand forward first. Then rotate and windmill down. Bottom hand down towards the floor. Reaching up with the top hand, looking up to the thumb. Grounding that back leg, so little toe side of the foot is rolling out towards the mat. do not hyperextend this front leg. Okay, bring it back up, flip the hand, start tilting back, reverse, bending the front leg, backhand sliding down to the calves, maybe it's on the thighs, wherever it is. Don't push into that knee joint, okay? Gently with the hand, resting it on the back leg. Front arms over, we're looking at the front bicep or crease at the elbow, or maybe we're looking at the hand. Okay, don't drop the chest, try and keep the hand coming up and over, opening all this front side, going a little bit lower, bending the front leg, and then from there windmill it all the way down. Shoot the back leg all the way up, slowly lower down, widen the knees, narrow the feet, push back for the last pose of child, this sequence. And again, I think we'll bring the hands right round towards the feet. You can also interlace the hands on the lower back, or maybe behind the lower back, and just allow the shoulders to relax. And then from there, bringing the hands up. Okay, back on the knees once more. Okay, so that is the full sequence there of my sort of morning mobility routine, part one. I hope you enjoyed it. Take something from it. Just under an hour, about 55 minutes. So what's really nice now is, especially first thing in the morning, is just jumping into a meditation. So there's loads of apps and there's loads of YouTube videos where you can just put some relaxing music on, and you can just sit there nice and grounded with the chest up. Okay, nice and relaxed. I always try and do it seated. I find that if I lie down and meditate, I almost fall asleep, whereas if I sit upright and sort of center my thoughts and relax this way, I've still got to stay active to hold my upper body up, okay, and trying not to slouch and sink down. So it does take an element of sort of awareness to keep this up, but also keep focused as well. Okay, so, 5 minutes of, or 10, 15, maybe 20 minutes of meditation. Maybe write some notes in your diary, your journal, what you're going to do today, or what you're going to do the rest of the week or month or year, or some thoughts about how you feel, and things like that. Really set you up for the day, not just for training, but for family life, work life. Sorts your head out, just looking after yourself first before you even attempt to do anything else in the day. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I look forward to your response and your feedback. Please comment, like, share where you can. And the more people that do that, I will do more videos like this. I really hope that someone takes some value from this, and yeah, I look forward to seeing the responses. So, namaste. Thank you.